All right, ladies and gentlemen, traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. Guys, as you're tuning in, be sure to hit that thumbs up, and if you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to the channel. What a roller coaster day, man. What a roller coaster day. Before we get into it, remember our disclaimer. Remember that these are not the typical results. Remember that day trading is risky. Remember, I do not invest for my subscribers, which means I will never message you first. I'll never send you a friend request first. Be careful of fake accounts. I will never start a conversation with you and just start talking randomly. All right. Lastly, be careful. I will never endorse. I will never recommend copy trading. That stuff is wildness, and will absolutely lead to the depths. All right. So with that being said, let's talk about this roller coaster of a day, man. If I pull up my trader view stats here, and we go over the calendar for just today, you guys will see how messy this day was, man. The last 4 or 5 trading days have been so choppy. It's been so choppy. I mean, just look at this. From, starting scratch, we're down 800. We then find our way to green up 700. And then we're back down here to 1.4 in the red. We make our way back to just being red $400 to then, red 1K again. I mean, and just so much chop in this day. We then, trade, and actually we missed the bulk of the move here. We'll talk about it. VCIG. We missed so much of VCIG, but we came late, better late than never, and we fought our way, man. We fought our way, back to green up 400, then up 900. And ended the day here. I mean, just such a choppy day. So let's talk about it, right? Earlier, VCIG, was the stock of the day, and I thought this thing was a mess. I really and truly thought that this stock was nothing more than a waste of time earlier. And why do I say that? Relentless. Why do you have that opinion on such a strong stock? Well, early, there's a lot of patterns, setups, and edges that I look for here whilst trading every day. And it seemed like this stock, not even it seemed, this stock only would provide maybe one out of the 10 things I would look for on a stock at this price range. And a lot of that was buying the bit of an overextended pullback and getting in, holding a little longer for a curl back up, which we did attempt in a couple areas, but at times we were getting chopped out. And if we're to look at the charting here, you guys will see, right, there's a couple of areas where, we had a few bottoming tails and then the bounce back up. Bottoming tail, if you're holding for that 30-second, 1 minute plus, bounce back up. Likewise right here. I mean, that was the theme of this stock. Bigger drops and then the bigger drops curling back up. And I tried, and, for one reason or another, I'd get chopped out of the move. Stock would go without me. And again, as mentioned, I'm not seeing any of the key trades, any of the other key trades that I would usually get. And even right here, right, we're on this bit of a ascending support. I'm watching at it. There's also some other stocks at play at the time. Stocks as in IDAI, which did pop up a little earlier. Actually, no, never mind. Not IDAI. Which was the other one? Was it UMAC? Yeah, UMA. Okay, UMAC, which did pop up. Guys, I caught this thing. What time was this? 9:47. So if we're to align 9:47 with VCIG, what time was that? Or let's say, where was that? So that was around this area here, right? So we had opportunities elsewhere, which, at times can make things a little tricky. Opportunity will cost. UMAC did give the ABCD pattern the W, and absolutely took off. This pattern right here, the W, right? We had our low, higher low, midpoint. Either I could be buying here sometimes. It depends on if I'm really watching here. If not, I'm buying in this area here, coming across right in this level here. So I saw it a little early and it aligned with break of 10. So I got long right here, break of 10. In at 10:07, this thing ripped up nicely. I held my position into the halt up, and it's one of those areas where I want to see the higher resumption, but the stock opened up sideways. I sold scratch sideways. It then went up, dipped, It dipped down in such a strange way, man. It was not clean. I don't think it was clean. And I had the chance to buy and bottom tick here, but I didn't trust it because of how it played out. Turns out it would have been a great trade. The spreads were tight and everything. I probably could have gotten filled between 10 and 10.11. I did watch this back, and it slingshotted to 50 and then ripped up to new highs. And I basically missed the bulk of this push. But what I did do was buy for the pre-market high right here, coming across pre-market high. So I jumped in right here and I tried to buy 70, but there was a massive spread. I got filled on the higher side of the spreads, which was pretty dangerous. Luckily, it did give the follow through, so I'm in. It was 1070 by 11. 25k share seller at 11. I bought the ask essentially here, getting in that market order, and then it instantly pushed over the level after the seller rather was broken, and we got halted up. I did not hold into this halt up only because my fill was much higher. Instead of being in here, I was in basically like here. Like, nope, not holding that. So hold into the halt up, it resumed. I'm up, so I was red about 400 on the stock in this chop, or maybe from the open as well, right? And then missed this move, but caught the break of highs, up 1k. At this point, I'm up 1k. Beautiful move over the pre-market highs. And right here, I was getting ready to go LeBron James in the playoffs. Crazy. I was getting ready to go to new heights where no man has been before. But this resumption on this thing was so bad, man. It not only resumes lower, but it doesn't really pop properly, and it fails miserably. And I bought and bought and bought to no bounce back up. And I just sold for losses, sadly, here. So this was between, this is also around what, 10:06 a.m. I tried a little right here. I think here and maybe here didn't do well either. Ended up going red at 1100. So when you guys see that chart from earlier with these swings, right? This is why it was such a choppy day. At least part of the reason. Okay, coming back to VCIG. So what was this? As mentioned, 10. Yeah, 10:06 VCIG. We're back on business in this one. And it's the type of stock where if it's not the uptrend, I found it very difficult to make money, man. The rules that I had for myself a few weeks ago would have been really ideal here, which was do not touch anything that's backside. If I had that, like Intel, let's say, and just focused on this stock strictly, I mean, I think I could have done 10x what I did today. But a bigger part of me not really capitalizing is that I was gone, right? Sadly. And so coming into Monday, man, I've had enough of what's happening to me. I'm gonna make some new rules. I'm gonna change my outlook and my perspective of how I'm treating the market, how I'm approaching it. And I think it's time to go back to putting the market first and everything else second. Everything except my health, let's say. Because, if you have doctor's appointments, like important things like that, you kind of have to do it. But it's time to put my trading first. And I think, sticking around even on the slower days, even on the days where it seems like nothing is moving, because the reality is that a stock will always come, man. And I think I'm leaving just too much on the table here. I left at 11:26, right? And I'm gonna show you guys this in the chat. It's just so ridiculous, man. At 11:26, I left. Let's pull this up right here. And at that time, this thing, I mean, it's just ridiculous, right? Some of the guys posting here how they did. Shout out to Tim, shout out to Crispy, shout out to Save, Lucas. Some of the guys there did really well. Big Steve, Nick, shout out to you, man. A lot of you guys did really well. Some of the students really crushed it. So 11, what time was the time? 12:50. We got to come up some more. Was it here? right here, 11:27 a.m. Red 1K, then plus 800, then red 800. I'm out of here. And at 11:27 a.m., if we look at the stock, let's actually detach this. Let's see. How do you do this? Okay, is it over here? Okay, there we go. Detach. Let's come down to just one cell. What's this? A 3 minute? We can change this to a 1 minute. 30-day 1 minute at 11:37. 11:27. Right here. The stock was pulling back off its highs, and I think one of the mistakes I might have made is that I should have waited to see if this thing would break down completely off of this, consolidation. Because if we're to put a trend line here, as I'm leaving, which is right in this zone right here, stock is still alive. Stock is still alive. And I left out thinking that was it. That it doesn't make sense to keep watching at this thing. It sucks. Obviously, it didn't. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, the stock was there stepping up. And I think this is where you really have to have that endurance, man. You have to have that endurance to just push through, size down a bit if you need to, stick around, because the best freaking move it was about to come. It started off with this right here, from 436 to 494, right? It started off right here. And for me, again, in the sideways consolidation is where I would have to been careful to not give back. Every uptrend, I made money like instantly. Sideways consolidation, tricky because you're not always sure where the bottom is. Sometimes the range can be a little tighter like this. Other times the range can be a little wider. And if you're buying too high, you're going to get chopped out, right? But the real monster move came over 5. The real monster move, man. If you guys will recall at the end of the live stream, I think I was up just $100. I gave back. I was up 800 and I gave back everything. And then the real monster move here comes over 5. The 1 minute candle makes a new high 89. This thing rips up to 528. It gives a baby pullback. And these are the areas, man, where with some size, man. From 509, it rips back up to 30. From 30, it pulls back down to 14, almost double bottom. And from 14, it rips up to 69. Beautiful 3-bar play. From 69 to 42. From 42, look at this monster freaking candle, man. From 42 to 46, $1 a share. And I came back. It's so ridiculous because I was right. I wasn't like in front of the screens, but I was in the office here. I just didn't look at the computer thinking, and sometimes you got to set alerts. I can use Momo Pro to set alerts. I saw this thing trying to halt up right here. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And I saw a trade that led to the halt up from 640 where there was an obvious entry. I just, I'm walking towards the screen and I can see the level 2. I'm like, oh, I could have been in there. And then from 640 it just teleports up. Or maybe it was 620. I can't remember exactly, but it's like, man, like if this entire move was as smooth as that last trade going into the halt up, 10K easy, man. Easy in this area here for my skill level, my experience, my determination, and my share size. I come its backside, of course. And I was so upset right here. I'm like, man, son of a gun, man. The moment I come, Christmas tree setup, and I thought it was just going to sell all the way off. But it actually curled up and gave an opportunity. I touched none of this because I'm like, we're going to probably just bear flag and sell off. But the moment it got up to this level here, and this is pretty similar again to the ABCD, but it's more so, if I'm to give this a pattern, it's more sort of bear flag, right? We have our high point, we sold off, we're going sideways, whether just flatlining, or it could be on a triangular, so somewhat of like an ascending support, bear flag, right? Picture your country's flag, stars and stripes for us in the States. Picture your country's flag. Actually, stars and stripes, right? So this is essentially a big green candle up, or a consecutive amount of green candles, and then stock is going sideways. Are we going to go up, or are we going to go down? So that's essentially what the bear flag and bull flag is. So right here we had the big move up. Now stock sold off, and it's consolidating sideways. Are we going to go up, or are we going to go down? So if we reject the high of the flag, chances are we go down. But if we can hold the high of the flag, and you can see this thing ripped up aggressively, man. And this stock, when this stock started to move, you had to just buy, because if you just hesitated like right here or here, let's say like right here, you would basically miss everything. So it ripped up and then sold off. It gave back everything right back to this level. I'm like, son of a gun. Son of a gun. It's done. And this candle here caught me off guard, because I'm like, man, is it finished? And it did an insane red to green right back up. Mind you, this was high, if I can get a straight line here, high of day. Jeez. Okay, better. This was high of day. So once we got over the highs this time, it never looked back. We cleared this level here. Baby pullback, rip. Baby pullback, rip. And that's where we really priced in our new high of day. And so the same trend continues. Consolidation. Are we going to go up, or are we going to go down? I thought it was going to just kept going. I'm like, man, this thing might just go to 15. I was praying this would go to 15, because I'm already here. It's finally giving us good opportunities. There's no excuse. If this would have went to 15, there's no excuse now for me to just, slam it and keep pushing and get up there for that nice 10K day. So there's going to be some changes that I'm going to make here. Enough is enough. It's time to stick around longer. It's time to trade more. We are a successful trader. We're profitable throughout every time frame of the day. I think we got to also continue to give pre-market some attention, so that we can start connecting there and just continue to build towards being a better trader, man. Shout out to the chat room. Traders like Gus, despite some red days, solid month, $50,000, man. Just shout out to the team. Some of the guys posted early because they're done and they're not coming back until Monday for the next month. So Save just setting the bar for us here, man. $500,000 month here, essentially. $427,000. Absolutely sensational. Put some respect on this man's name right here, right now. Did we get another calendar? Some smaller P&Ls. Did we get another calendar? Spartan, another one of the students here, man. Shout out to Spartan. Turning the corner in style. Turning the corner in fashion. Absolutely sensational here from Spartan as well. Save, team house member, chat room member, Spartan student, team house member as well. Absolutely crushing the markets here. Sweet, beautiful calendar. Managing risk to a T. Small red days, massive green days. This is exactly what we'd like to see, man. Shout out to Spartan down there in the southern state of GA, holding it down. 4.3 today after fees, pulling off the red to green. Nicely done, man. Tim, another big time trader here. MMU mentor Tim, another guy you guys can see. Small red days, big green days. 22K, 9K, 24K, 23K, 42K. Absolutely sensational. Shout out to the boys. Shout out to the team. The MMU and Relentless trading community. Absolutely getting it done. Green Dream, another big time trader here and student, locking in a 14K day. Spartan, as you guys can see, his calendar here, his what do you call this thing? His his win-loss, right? His cumulative P&L from red 20K, turning the corner and absolutely, absolutely going parabolic, supernova, exploding like a volcano. And I don't think Enzo in the red today. I don't think we had any other stocks. Cactus Rob, really nice, nicely done. Way to go. Momo Bro, nicely done. Way to go. Love to see it, man. You love to see it. We love to see it. All right. And I think that's going to do it for today. So keep pushing, keep striving for greatness, and let's continue to get after this bag. All right, guys. Stay safe, stay green. It's been RT, and I am, of course, signing out.